the injury.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's bit of a hybrid approach to our main podcast, where the first thing we're going to concentrate on is the B&C that Jay just couldn't pull himself together to do with me. I think he's avoiding me. He's got issues with me, hasn't he? So we'll talk about the game. We'll talk about the result. And then that will lead us nicely into the predictions and then onward into the main podcast. So I'll just say hello. Smarty, how are you doing?
Hello, good evening. Well, thank you.
Luke, how are you doing?
How are you?
Very well, thank you for asking. Yeah, not too bad at all. I feel rather fresh for a Tuesday after a relatively heavy weekend by my account.
A relatively heavy weekend by your account.
It was by my account.
That's a heavy weekend.
I was drinking, still drinking when people were coming in to use the gym on Sunday morning.
God. Why were you drinking in the gym?
I wasn't in the gym. I was outside it waiting for people to come in so I could slaver.
Choose life, not the gym. Just be a disgrace like me.
Yeah. Right, we'll get into an intro and we'll get into it.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and then you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
You look like fucking Brolin, you're a Leeds eating bastard. Look like some sort of fucking weird floating head. No. You tensile play it a bit, innit?
I mean, I feel a bit right, dickhead.
Nothing spectacular, really.
So the first half didn't really qualify for the nothing spectacular, did it? It was a pretty good a pretty good half of football for us, I think. Smarty, just if we focus on the first half and cover that off, and then we move into the second half and what we felt about that. It was enjoyable, wasn't it? It was nice. It was a nice half of football.
It's just becoming the norm, isn't it, I suppose? Just a nice, controlled start to every game, I suppose. Taking it to them, getting a few goals, and then just sitting back and relaxing. Just very controlled. Like I say, it's weird in a way, isn't it? Because sometimes when you're watching the lads, you just think something's going to go wrong here. Something's going to happen. This is just too good. This is too nice. Others have said it must be like watching Man City in the Premier League. They just go in there, dominate possession, dominate every sort of area and aspect of the game, and then just let the others chase you around like a set of idiots. I mean, Plymouth did, to be fair to them, did try going a little bit toe to toe with us, and I don't think they did too badly. Obviously, apart from getting fucking stuffed 2-0 in first half, but I enjoyed it. The atmosphere was decent enough. It's a good job we're talking about the frigging second half later, because it literally was a game of two halves again. Very, very similar to what Huddersfield were, actually. But yeah, very, very good solid half. Some impressive performances as well. It's a bit of a shame to lose Sam Byron, but I think that's just a precautionary measure rather than because I think he wanted to play on, didn't he? I think he said.
We're only talking about first half. But yeah, no. I think the update actually after the game is that he's probably going to be missing for the first game back after the international break. Yeah. So Farker is maybe that's just a bit of cotton wool. Maybe you're right, and he's protecting him. So. But he's played a fair amount of football as well for somebody that when he first joined, he was seen as being quite unfit and needing to do some work. Yeah, and he's made a biscuits. Yeah, just a reminder, as ever, get in the comments, and we'll pick some out as we go. Lou, what did you make of the lineup?
It's to be expected, I think. I think that was pretty much what everybody expected. You lose Stroik, who's been captain in the side. Therefore, Elland or Cooper has to come in now. Archie Gray wasn't going to be dislodged at right back. The player that was missing was the left centre back, and it was just only natural that Coops came in, and he didn't do bad. Look, you're gonna have your Cooper haters and people who still think that he's not good enough to play for Leeds United. Well, he clearly is. He's still been fancied as our captain by 4 or 5 managers or whatever it is now, 6 managers or something. Yeah, look, he's lost a yard of pace. He's got that little bit of an error in him, but he does a job, and he did a job against a poor Plymouth side. I thought we could have gone in at half-time, maybe 4 or 5 up, realistically. I listened to Farker's comments after the game, just said, look, you've got, we missed 4 probably good goal scoring opportunities, not just in the first half, but throughout the game. And sometimes that can come back to bite on the arse. And I think in another season or in another age, we would have probably drawn or lost that game. When we came under the cosh quite a bit toward the end of the game. I'll try and keep it to the first half for now. But yeah, going in at half time, 2-0 up, we're cruising. We weren't even looking at the pitch. We were singing to their fans. It was a good, and as Smarty said, it made for a good atmosphere. Like, fair fucks to Plymouth for selling out their allocation. Traveling all that way. I think it took them 10 hours or something one way.
Like a 12-hour return, wasn't it, or something? Daft. I've seen all sorts.
There were a coach journey that were that long, weren't they? Because when they were singing to Chinos, they were telling them in 12 hours. It's a long way. As we reminded them, it's a long way to Plymouth when you shit.
Yeah. And they were. You know what? They're going to be. They looked like a newly promoted side. They looked like what I expected Ipswich would look like. They've not made many signings at this level. It's their big day out. They're going to go to ourselves. They're going to go to Leicester. They're going to go to probably Sunderland's a fair old trek if they haven't already been there. Imagine how far that is. But they're these bigger stadiums, the teams that have seeped in a little bit of history. That's going to be their big day out because Plymouth Argyle were playing in almost non-league football not so long ago. So fair fucks to them.
No, it is. It's fair. And I guess when you've had that recent history, they do want to make a big deal about going to some of the bigger stadiums and experiencing some of the atmospheres. In that regard, it's not a surprise that they've sold out because it is one of the bigger games that they're going to have this season and the bigger stadiums they're going to be at. But it is a long way, so fair play. And actually, it's good that we're a weekend fixture, isn't it? Because if that had been a midweek fixture, they wouldn't have been there at all. And that atmosphere that we saw in the first half, it is hampered by not having a vocal away following. I think the fans is a big deal for any home side and any home fans as well. So it is important. We covered the first half. It was pretty easy, I think. We were having conversations at half time, and we were thinking it's just pretty easy. It all seemed really quite straightforward. I think at half time and going into the second half, but at half time when we were having those conversations, is there it's my perception, and I'm just asking if there is a wider perception, and I think Farke kind of alluded to it earlier in the season, a thing where he doesn't really want to go in for the kill because he feels like he's embarrassing opponents. Do you think that factors in some of the decisions and some of the approaches?
Nah, I think you'd have to be. I don't think there's any room for sentiment in football, and certainly not at this level. No. I think we did take the foot off the gas again a little bit, and it showed with the intensity that we came out and playing. But even up until they scored that goal, we were still fully in control of the game. It never felt like they were going to score. We did probably ease off a little bit, and we were just playing. And there was a time when we were all laying, and it just felt almost too easy, which could have been dangerous. It could have been. There could have been a little bit of. We could have probably been a bit biting ourselves on the arse in that game, and I thought that we did well to stay professional, and even still when conceding to not actually lose, because there's been times in our season over recent history that we would have lost that game, and we certainly would have conceded and again towards the end, and it almost felt like we were going to, didn't it, at one stage?
It did. I think it took that, didn't it? And I think I don't know how much of it conveys to the players, but certainly in the stand you're thinking, oh shit, here we go again, because we've seen it so many times, with your Wigans and Derbies and the games that stick out in the mind. Smarty, you mentioned the loss of Byram. How much do you think that hurt us, and how much do you think it was the loss of Byram, and how much do you think it was a player that's not got any minutes in his legs coming on?
To be fair, And it would. Do you know what? There's an element of comedy with Firpo's introduction during the game because he got a bit of a more of a rapturous sort of welcome than I expected. If I'm totally honest. And he were getting cheered when he would touch the ball and stuff. I was like, "Come on, man! Is this a piss take, or are people actually that happy to see him?" Because I'm a bit confused. I don't really know. But it were the right hand side. Well, our left. It was the left hand side that we got done for, and obviously, and conceded. And it's happened again against a side where we should not be conceding. Huddersfield being the other game, and to not have 2 clean sheets in those games against, like we said, such poor, if we're being honest, poor opposition is a bit of an hard pill to swallow. But fair play to Plymouth. The cross were all right, and the finish were absolutely bang on. To be fair, you can't knock them. But again, it were Ampadu having to cover for Firpo because Firpo had completely done exactly what he did last season, and what we've just been accustomed to seeing him doing, just setting himself off into the sunset or whatever, and not coming back. And you see Byram. And when you compare him to Firpo, his spatial awareness for me is much better. On Byron's behalf, should I say, is much better than Firpo.
I just want to stop you there. That wasn't Firpo's fault at all.
No, I'm not saying it was, but the attack down that side where he wasn't. No, it was, and Ampadu wasn't covering him.
The track, wasn't it?
But what I'm saying is that if Byron was on the pitch, I don't think that would have happened. But
no.
It is what it is. It's controversial. It's an opinion.
Yeah.
It is what it is. At the end of the day, Firpo wasn't there and they scored down that side. So yeah, Ampadu should have done better.
It came from a good transition of football there. They converted from defence to attack, counter attack. Firpo was exactly where he should have been in Farke's system when with the ball.
But he didn't have the ball at that point.
But he only just lost it.
It got but he was still up there. It wasn't. There was at least a few touches before. Normally, Sam Byram sits back off. As soon as he's gone, he doesn't go and sit in fucking 6-yard box.
I don't know. Byram got caught out twice in the first half in exactly the same fashion.
I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not trying to turn this into a mass debate or anything. All I'm saying is that you
have your mass debate after this, mate.
I'll be doing plenty of that, I'm sure. But yeah, it's just a bit, like I say, it's just an hard pill to swallow, and he's going to bear the brunt of it, innit? He wasn't there. It's his position we conceded from, and it's just like I say, it's just shit to concede against another really poor side. We should be getting clean sheets against these teams. Managed a clean sheet against Leicester, but can't manage clean sheets against fucking Southampton, Huddersfield, and frigging Plymouth
and Birmingham.
It's just like,
they're terrible as well. So, no, that's fair. So if you read some of their Gaffer's comments after the game, he actually attributes the swing in the game. It is a strange comment. He said you look attractive.
I've always had a beard.
Oh, that's the strange bit. Okay. Their manager actually attributed the swing in the game to a change that they made on the 58th minute that was bringing the striker on. And I don't see that. I don't think it was as simple as Byron went off, Firpo came on, and they had more of a foothold in the game by any stretch. But I also don't think it was anything like I brought this striker on and he changed the run of the game for us and we were unlucky not to get a draw kind of thing, which is what he were making out. And do you know what? That's the opposition gaffer. He's going to say that sort of thing and build up his own team. But just on that, so there was a potential opportunity for them to score from the spot. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it back, but Ampadu's challenge, either just outside or continuing into or in the box, dependent on where you land on that. Might have got a toe to it before getting the man, might not have got any touch on it. Smarty, I'll come to you first. Where you landed on that?
I think without VAR, it's quite a tough decision to make. I can see why there's been nothing given because it won't stone wall enough for me. It does. I suppose it depends on what side of the fence you sat on. It does look like he may have got the ball, but then again, it does look like he might have completely missed it. And the only thing for me, his only saving grace is the ball does slightly move to the left-hand side of him. Now, whether that's the I can't remember who it was, their attacker. I can't remember what the name of the Plymouth player was. Doesn't matter. I suppose it's irrelevant. I don't know whether he's tripped up on himself and kicked it out. It might have been. I don't know. I don't know whether it's come off him slightly, from Ampadu fouling him or not. I don't know, but we've got an equal sort of argument against, at the other end of the pitch when Rutter was definitely pushed over. Now, a lot of people have argued that, saying he didn't and he looked for it. No, we're only looking at one angle, and like I said, we can only take what we see, from replays and stuff like that, from the angles that are served up to us. But from my perspective, when I was watching that, he definitely was pushed over. Rutter.
Yeah.
So you sometimes, I mean, this is the beauty of not having VAR, because you're never going to get it ruined. Because let's be honest, they could have taken 5-10 minutes to frigging decide what it would have been 5 of them sat in a fucking room somewhere wanking each other off, deciding whether he were fouled or not. The referees thought, no, fuck you, I'm gonna. To be fair, the referee did give a lot of dodgy decisions, to be honest. So he gave fouls for little niggles here, there, and everywhere, and complete and absolute stonewall fouls. He just waved on as if it were nothing. It were like, where the fuck have they found this guy? It was so controversial. But yeah, it probably was a penalty. I'm gonna say that. Probably, but it's nice to get away with one, isn't it?
And you brought up what I was going to ask Luke. Have you had an opportunity to see back the one on Rutter, the nudge in the back?
Yeah, I think if one's, I think they were both penalties. If I'm honest with you, I also think there was another penalty shout. Was it on Somerville in the first half?
Yeah,
I think that. Yeah,
I didn't think that one was as much a penalty as the other two.
I don't think that one was, but I think
that's the one that Farker got booked over, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I think if you're going to give any of those, I think you've got to give them all. Do you know what I mean? I think that touch and go, and it just depends on the referee on the day. There quite easily could have been 3 penalties on the day. I think it would have been very hard done for him to give him that penalty against us, albeit it was probably a penalty. To give it to that could have made it. Was it 2-0 at that time, or was it already 2-1?
Oh, I'm not certain. It was quite close to the goal,
2-0, wasn't it? Yeah, it was round the goal. And then you look at Rutter as well. We scored directly off the back of his foul anyway. With Dan James scored in the bottom corner. So sorry,
and a very well taken effort as well, actually.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks quite simple, but he's coming on leaps and bounds. Normally, Dan James, you'd expect him to spoon that into frigging Rose Head, wouldn't
it? It was a great touch and finish.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Great. Let's talk about Dan James, because I'm quite confident there was a few doubters of Dan James before this season started, and people who didn't want him back. Here he is. At least he's owning it. To
be fair, I think I said in the Championship he'll probably do well, but yeah, I wouldn't have been looking to start him if we're looking at our strongest 11. I wouldn't have been looking at him as a starter.
No, in fairness, I've got to hold my hands up. I didn't think he would be getting our starting 11. I thought it'd have been a great
given how well Nonto and stuff were playing last year, you'd have expected Somerville and Nonto to be playing both wings. Nonto a minute can't buy his way into the team, can he? So with hindsight, we're all right, I suppose. But I think, to be fair, all of us did expect the players that we'd managed to keep hold of to do well in that league, because really they should do, shouldn't they? Most of them are Premier League quality players, apart from Cooper.
No, but you mentioned Somerville there, and he's ace to watch. He's just brilliant, and they're so scared of playing against him. It's
and he's strong as well. He's strong.
Well, look at what he did with his body slam.
I know. Class. Should play ice hockey. Anyway,
moving on. So talking about attackers, and talking about not that sort of attack either. Sorry, talking about football.
Jesus.
And talking
End the show, quick.
Talking about forwards. I'm just going to pop up Alan Kennedy's comment here, and I'm going to come to you on this one, Luke. There was watching the back the highlights. There was a comment made by the commentators, and I've not gone back and checked this, but they did say he was in the middle of a goal drought. Now we've had 16 games, and he's scored 6 goals. Can we really call that a drought?
I mean, I think probably what they're comparing it with is his previous seasons, and he's achieved relatively good numbers in both of them, but he's still on course to achieve those and more this season. So a drought, if he hasn't scored in 2 or 3 games playing at number 10, is that really a drought? Not for me. And I think even in the games where people have think he's been quiet, he still brought something to the team that we have missed. And the games he struggles is when he plays further away from Rutter, The games we do really, really well is when he plays so close to Rutter and the other two on the wings as well. When he gets more involved, when he has to sit a little bit deeper, that's where we tend to struggle. When Pirro's playing almost more like an 8 than a 10. When he's sat in that 10 hole and he's actually linking up with the wingers and the forward, that's where he has his best games for me. And it looks far more convincing because he gets goals and he gets assists and or not even assists, but often something leading to a goal. But he actually made that goal. It was his touch into Somerville first. I think was it Dan James or Somerville won the ball back actually. Gave it into Pirro. Pirro gave it into Rutter, and Rutter back to Pirro. I think I may be wrong.
I think it might have been Somerville, yeah.
But that it was that sort of build up. But if you watch him even in games where we struggled to score, Sheff Wednesday, it was poor because he was having to come so deep for the ball because they had 10 men behind the ball.
Yeah,
he was having to come so deep for the ball, and that's not his game. Yeah. That's not his game. His game is one-touch football in and around the box, and look, he took his goal really, really well at the weekend. Looks far more involved and looks far better when we're on the front foot and when teams aren't going to sit back. That's where we're going to struggle, and we've said that since the start of the season, haven't we? The teams that we're going to really tow against are the ones that are quite happy to sit 10 men behind a ball and hopefully nick a point or even 3 points in the last minute. You know what I mean? And it showed. Plymouth came at us a little bit, and we were all over them.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I do. I think that's fair. So in terms of just running through the comments, I just want to see anyone that are related to this because there's some about things that we're just going to come on to. Here's a question. So Liam B has popped up. The whole team played well on Saturday. Man of match for me is Rodon. Very solid display at the back. He's a very angry man, and I appreciate anger in the centre back. But man of the match, who are you having?
Ooh.
Dan James.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so.
I think I wouldn't disparage him at all. I thought he had a good game. I might go Jimmy just over him, but they both played really well.
I don't think there's a wrong choice, mate. To be fair, I think we're very, very lucky at the minute to be able to have so many players in a decent amount of form. And there's no one really having a bad performance, and it's such a nice change. From last season, watching them all absolutely scraping barrel. Just being really, really poor collectively as a side. What's he doing? What the fucking hell?
Did you read that out?
Smart. So my good friend Jammy's in the comments, and he's said, relating to his earlier beard comment, that a full beard on Smarty makes him look like a young Yorkshire Ripper. That's nice.
Rather than a young Burt Reynolds.
I'm going to have to change my handle from @Gogsgoys to Ass. I might even take Ass Ripper's fucking name. Ass Ripper. Weiss Ripper. So yeah, thanks. Apparently I look like Peter Sutcliffe. Cheers, Jamie. Thanks, mate.
Couple of other comments. Mark Wright said some people even made the journey and sat outside the stadium. I didn't realise that.
Never.
That is a long way to go with no ticket.
Plymouth fans?
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming so.
I did see what's their famous fan called who does all the YouTube?
Pie Face.
I saw the video.
Have you seen the video of him kicking off outside?
I didn't know who it was. I saw him kicking off.
I didn't.
I didn't. And then I googled him and found out who it was. But he's famous for playing FIFA or something, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks like a right little fucking wet wipe anyway.
Yeah. And so outside he apparently was having a bit of banter with some Leeds fans, and then somebody said something to me, like, "Look at your fucking walking." I don't know what the sort of accent that was.
Bring back Jay.
Can't do a Plymouth accent. I
don't know what sort of accent that was. Bring back your fucking walking.
Right, mate. Fuck me. Might have a shrimp on the barbie. He was just basically carrying on. But apparently he goes to every single game, home and away. That is some commitment. That.
Fair play. Yeah.
And again, you have to doff
they're not in Europe,
to the Plymouth fans, haven't you? Because it's a fair old trek, and they sold
anywhere,
out.
Isn't it?
Fair play to them.
He was on Big Brother as well, apparently.
Oh yeah, that's how he's known.
What a bell sniffer! Why would you go on something like that? Fucking Jesus! And kudos to the man
reality TV the other day.
I said the only one that I will watch, and only briefly for the first couple of weeks, is I'm a Celeb, because I like seeing people.
And now it's got that
fucking
snake,
cockroaches and shit.
Who's
I am. Yeah, bloody Farage's in it, innit? Shit house.
Yeah.
Not bad.
£1.5 million. What a grift.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. He's going to get paggered in there, though, isn't he?
Well,
He was supposed to be like Hancock last year. He got absolutely ripped to bits and all, didn't he?
Yeah, but it makes him appear human. I don't think it's fair.
No, we don't want that. No,
just moving on into, before we get overly political, moving on into a couple of other things. Decent win. So this is Scooby. Decent win. Should have won, but should have been more comfortable. Felt like 10,000 chances for 2. Let them back in. I just want to touch on this last point. It says lively atmosphere towards the end, and you made a point of that earlier on, Smarty. It did go really flat, didn't it? In that second half, and it was before they scored.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I really don't. I can't put my thumb on it or even finger, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's a thumb or a finger. Put your big toe on it if you like. Who gives a fuck? We do what we want at the Ought to Know Better podcast.
It looks like a thumb anyway.
It smells like one. You throw me. Yeah, the atmosphere. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's just. I don't know whether it's an air of calm or who knows. But it proper dips, and you'll hear little pockets of noise here, there, and everywhere. Like, oh yeah, we'll try and do a bit. But I suppose when you've got a very quiet away section, if they're getting dicked, they don't make any noise. Like at Huddersfield, we made a quite a lot of noise and a decent atmosphere for a good 20 minutes into the second half, and it just kind of just meandered out, and it would just that's it. Yeah, it was just like, if you're not going to sing, then we're not going to sing, and then obviously they start piping up then football in a library, don't they, wankers? I made a fucking peep all night. But yeah, I don't know what it is.
It didn't feel nervous though. You know, sometimes the nerves at Elland Road can be palpable. It didn't feel like that to me. It just felt flat.
There was no Elland Road rumble or whatever they call it. When it starts going a bit wrong or a bit, I wish you were doing better or whatever, and you can start hearing either that like the hum noise of people talking a lot. Yeah, there's like a bit of a hum. It wasn't that. It was just like people just sat there like, should we just fuck it off? Should we just go home? It's weird, and it's the second time it's happened again this season.
I must have been absolutely fucked by this point because I don't remember this.
You're always fucked.
Yeah, I mean that's probably right. Yeah,
I remember the first half, and I thought their fans were quite good, even at 2-0 down.
They were in first half.
I give 2-0 down. Didn't make a peep after this.
I always feel that the second that our fans. I mean, our atmosphere starts either in the cheese wedge or the south stand, doesn't it? Generally speaking, every now and then you'll hear something coming from the north stand, but that tends to bounce off the away fans and what they're doing. If there's not a lot of noise coming from there, and at 2-0 down, they've all had a pie and a pint, and they come back and they're 2-0 down and they're not in the game. They didn't really do much. I remember that much, but I don't remember us lot being that quiet.
No, it did.
But it must have happened.
It did go really
there were
flat.
Pockets of noise, like I say, but.
And Cheese were doing the South Stand give us a song and East Stand give us a song and all of that, trying to get it going. And Where Were You When We Were Milk? And then
really?
Chinos give us a song.
It's a long way to Plymouth in Chinos.
Was that the second half we were singing that?
Yeah.
Was it? Because I wasn't Cheese, so I didn't hear all of that until afterwards. At one point, actually, I thought they were chanting Gino. And I thought that was a new nickname for Ruta because I couldn't really work out what were going on, but I would at other end at stand.
No, we started singing Jorginho at him.
Right, okay. Yeah. Maybe that's what I would
like where I am, like FA6, FA5, we usually are quite noisy. We have a bit of bounce off between. When you get into kind of middle-ish, I suppose, you might lose a little bit of that initial contact you've got. You're right smack bang next to each other. Yeah.
That is where the most of the noise is.
Yeah, and like I say, Cheese at other side, but it was really, really a bit subdued, really, in the second half.
Yeah, so. Whatever it is, you try and put your thumb on it, or whatever it is, and we'll see if we can work it out in future. Right, so that's the game, and that takes us on to a bit of this.
Ought to Know Better predictions.
So dead straightforward one this time. In fact, I don't have them in front of me, but I can remember them all. Every single person got a point. So Bren is
20 points
clear at the top. He's 5 points clear at the top. He was, he was on.
Is he 5 points? Because I've got your league positions from last week, and obviously if I'm adding a point on it, it's quite easily to change. But Bren was on 19, and you were on 16.
No. There was some more after that because we'd missed. There were 3 games that somehow had gone missing through the season. Watford, Saints, and something else. It won't surprise you to find that hardly anybody got any points from the Saints game, but the Watford game, Luke got 3 points. I think Bren might have got 5 points from that one. So yeah, there were some others, but
I got 5.
Was it 5? I can't
remember. It matters anyway. Who cares? These people watching don't give a fuck. Let's be honest.
No, they don't.
They don't give a fuck at all. But the fans got 1 point as well. So well done to the fans. I'm in it now, so it's just opening up. So yeah, the standings are. Bren is 5 points clear of me. I'm 4 points clear of Smarty, who is 1 point clear of both Luke and Carl together. Then there's 6 points back to the fans, and then Jay looks like a midget. He's so far behind us. It is a long way back. Right, so I went 3-1.
How far away is he?
How far away are they? I went 3-1. Fans went 4-1. Smarty went 3-0. Luke went 4-1, Carl went 3-1, Jay went 4-1, and Bren went 2-0. So he was very close, actually, to getting the whole 5, and that would have been putting him a long way clear. So we need to
Do you know what,
claw him back in.
I've just noticed Bren always puts his prediction in very, very late compared to us lot. Make of that what you will.
This goes back
Make
to
of that what
the
you
conversation
will.
I had in our chat about, we have to have a cut-off limit, I think. Because as news comes out through the week and certain players come in and certain players coming out and stuff,
Apparently it's Bren's son doing the predictions anyway.
Is it? That's what he wants to say.
No. Kobe knows all about football. And Bren's Bren. So yeah, no, it is Kobe.
Now it makes sense.
Gives him the prediction.
Very fun.
Yeah, no, snitches get stitches, I've heard, but yeah, no, that is true. So that's the prediction. So there are a couple of other comments that just lead us on to some other things. Just from a position of looking at the other football that happened and Leeds players doing quite well elsewhere. I don't know if you saw the fact that he won the free kick. I don't know if you've seen the free kick. It was a bit of a belter. Have you seen it back?
Absolute smoking free kick. That really well taken. And from a fair old distance as well, wasn't it? What it about bloody 40 yards, 30 to 40 yard away?
Could be 30 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards.
I would have said near as 25, but hey, when you're measuring, you always had a bit on, don't
you? Okay. So, I mean, the great thing about it is we're going to be playing Borough and he's not going to be able to play against us. So, that's quite nice. Agent Sam. But he is doing pretty well, and it was against Leicester, which is quite nice.
Leicester.
That's it. So 2 games in a row, 2 defeats, 2 Leeds players. That's nice.
we're 11 points clear though.
They had a chance. Ipswich had a chance to go 17. No, Leicester. If Leicester had beaten us at the time, I think they would have gone 17 points above us.
14th clear. Yeah, because it'd have been a 6-point swing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. They would have gone 17 points above us. It's now back down to, is it 8?
8.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're only 8 behind. I think they're joint on points with Ipswich, aren't they?
Yeah.
A lovely goal. Well taken. That £1.5 million must be looking quite the prospect to them, because I think that's the agreed price if he goes.
I can't believe we've let him go for that, mate.
It doesn't seem like the best deal on our part, but he won't play football, will he?
Fucking hell. Yeah, but $1.5 million, though. Jesus Christ.
To be fair, though, before he started for fucking Middlesbrough, you'd have snapped their hand off for $1.5 million for what he's actually done for us, wouldn't you?
He wasn't playing, was he? But even when he did, he wasn't playing in midfield.
Yeah. Well, he's playing on the left wing for them.
He was still making appearances in Premier League and stuff. You'd think even that is some
I get it. I get it.
You know what I mean? There's some kind of label. If you and he's an English player, played at Premier League a little bit.
Are we really going to miss him all that much?
No, but I want more money. Fuck him.
He didn't bring.
And it's Borough. Fuck Borough. Fucking.
It didn't bring a lot. It didn't bring a lot.
Web-fingered
to us,
fucking smoggy
but he's been playing. He's been playing sort of a left wing, left attacking midfield type hybrid role for them. It's a bit weird position. Like I've never seen him play there really. But it seems to suit him.
He was signed as a forward though, wasn't he? With a forward at Arsenal.
Striker.
Oh, we signed him.
Yeah.
It was scoring for fun in 21s, wasn't he? He was like scoring every other. Him and Joffrey were literally ripping it up in the 21s.
Yeah, they were. I think it's great to see some lone players doing well. It's great to see others not doing so well. The comments that Brendan Arrington made, I don't know if that was before or after the last main pod. I can't remember you talking about it.
Oh yeah, we spoke about it briefly.
Right. I'd just like to add weight to the fact that he can fuck off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's that.
Any fucker. Any fucker. Anyone that's decided to jump ship, you can go and get yourself fucked right off.
He forced his way out, didn't he? Yeah. Especially the shit.
Stinney and Adams and Harrison and all of them actually. Fuck them.
Yeah, all of them. Fuck them.
Every single one of them.
So, talking about players leaving the clubs, Smarty, I'm going to come to you to talk about this bit because you've got something prepped about some young men. Well, you were making some notes.
Steady on, fucking hell. First I'm getting called fucking Yorkshire Ripper, and now you're saying I've got things to say about young blokes. Christ alive.
Now he's Rolf Harris.
I'll be having a knock on the door, you, James. Fucking hell, I'm sorry. It wasn't me, honestly. It was Gilly.
Can you tell what it is?
Fuck's sake. Are you referring to Mr. Finlay Gorman going to Manchester City for a seven-figure fee?
The one.
Yes, apparently they've hoodwinked us and snatched him from under our carpet, or however you want to call it. Yeah, they've. I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with this. So it looks like we're being raided by a couple of Premier League clubs for the three players specifically. Finlay Gorman, who has already gone to City. Archie Gray is being tapped up by Liverpool and other teams apparently, and so is his brother Harry Gray. Looking like they're going to be child snatched. So it's those people that are taking them. They're taking our kids off us, the bastards. It's them that should be in trouble, not me, Gilly, bastard. So yeah, what do we think of that then? Because to be fair, I really didn't know much about Finlay Gorman, so I'm not that bothered, if I'm totally honest. Harry Gray.
If you look at Gorman's impact when he first came into the under-18s, he was 14 years old and scored 2 goals and set one up.
Not his debut for the 18s.
Yeah. And he was scoring for fun. I think he scored in something like his first 10 games in the under-18s as a 14, 15-year-old. It takes some doing to act up in terms of age like that. At that level, if you think of the way your body develops from 14 years old to 18 years old, that's quite the feat. But that said, I still don't know that much about him. I've seen some little bits and so on, but only after he's gone. So you'd like to think that the club has got some sell-on stuff in there.
I think the difficulty we've got, Gilly, is that you can't sign a professional contract until you're 16. So, he's going to be lured with the promise of mega money. His parents have probably said, look, his parents have had a massive say in it because he's obviously not old enough to make these decisions. His parents have had to, as his guardians, have made the decision for him. Now, we could have offered him the same amount of money to stay, but even still, that we're talking about, we're talking about mega money over at City, and we just, you can't guarantee that he's going to make it. I mean, even at 14, you look at some players who were expected to be. Was it Tom Taiwo went to Chelsea and a couple of others, and I know that. I mean, it's not always comparable, but. To get a record fee for this lad, we obviously expecting big things. I think I just seen somebody in there say, in the comments say he's scored 20 goals in 9 games this season already, and I'm not sure what level that is, but it takes some going. Even at amateur level, does that at any age group. So when he's doing it against other academies, he's obviously got something about him, and for City to even be tied around him. So yeah, it's a real shame. it's a real shame. But look, that's the way football. That's the way the football pyramid works. We did the same to Wigan when we took Joffrey off him for £1 million, and we thought we were getting a 20 million, 30 million player for £1 million. And that is just the way football works, and it is a shame. It's unfortunate.
How much do you reckon we'll sell Joffrey for?
Well, I think
if Greenwood's gone for 1.5.
Yeah, but at the same time, and by the same rationale, you look at Nonto, and if he does go, he's going to be going for quite a lot of money, and we didn't sign him for that much. So it is like you say, that's the footballing pyramid, and the big boys with all of the success and all of the money, regardless of how you think about where that money came from, can do that, and we do that to clubs further down the league. I think what it £50,000 that we signed Jermaine Beckford for. I think from Wealdstone that we got him from. Yeah,
it might have been 50, but something around that. Yeah. I think of the ones mentioned, I think I'd be more upset about the Greys. I think they'll have.
Yeah.
But on the other side, obviously Archie's got a professional contract. Harry hasn't. But I think we will have a little bit more influence in their decision to stay. With obviously the history. Now, I'm not expecting them to stay forever because that's what Eddie did by any means. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think they'll be advised slightly differently to how potentially Finlay was.
They'll have a good support network that actually means something. They're kind of like part of the fabric. The whole Grey name is part of the fabric of the club, innit? It's an established name within the Leeds culture. Really, let's be honest.
It is. Even then, even though he's on a professional contract, because he's under 18, it's only 2 years. So if somebody does buy him out of his contract, we're not going to get as much as we would next year. So it is.
Here's a question.
Here's
a question. The numbers touted around Archie Gray, if I'd be seeing 40 and 50 million, it'd be very difficult for the club to turn our nose up at that.
Yeah, there's no way they could turn it up.
Absolutely.
No
I'd be absolutely gutted. I'd be gutted.
Yeah, you would be.
There's no way.
And you could understand them letting him go for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really that's the realists among us. And then you've got people saying, "Nah, he's worth it could be worth 70, 80, or 100 million in a few years' time." Look at what Jude Bellingham went for, 30 million from a cash-strapped Birmingham at the time. Well, yeah, but we're talking about Jude Bellingham, arguably one of the best players in the world now. Do you know what I mean? Archie's got all the tools that he can probably get to that level, but there's no guarantee he's ever going to get there.
No, there's no guarantees at all. Do you know what? He might get injured next week, and that's why you can't knock the young players taking the money as early as they can, because they might never get there. And if they never get there, then they've missed that opportunity. They're going to have to find a different life in something else. And they don't you can't be. I mean, I've never been one, but my perception is it's very difficult to be a Premier League footballer and be good at something else enough to make a career of it. So they've got one opportunity at it, and you do see players that get bad injuries and they're not the same afterwards. If that's happening to a young player and something does go untoward, then they'd always then regret not taking that money at the point at which it were offered, wouldn't they? So you can't knock them, and you can't knock the families, I don't think, for taking that option when it's such a young.
I think 50 million's a pipe dream as well. I don't know who's come up with that figure, but there's absolutely no chance it goes for that. Not even half, I wouldn't say.
No, at this point.
If I'm being honest, no chance. I'd like to think that he'd stay and become established within our team first, rather than going somewhere to do a Calvin and sit on a fucking bench, or even worse, sit in someone's academy for a few years.
What do you think the club would accept for him at this stage and this window in January?
I don't think they would. I think they'll do the best, because I don't think that the offers will be high enough for them to be able to go, do you know what, that's actually quite tempting. I really, really don't.
What would it be considered quite tempting?
Yeah.
I don't think that we'll get offered more than 10 or 15 million for them. I really don't.
And so if it was offered 20, regardless of whether 20 is a pipe dream or not, is it tempting the club? Is that what you're saying?
I think if they put 20 million in, I think the club would probably be tempted by 20 million, yeah. I think so. As a
it would depend on clauses and that as well, I suppose.
Absolutely, selling clauses and all that other stuff that gets you. Luckily we haven't got that fucking idiot running show regarding contracts and stuff anymore. So you'd like to think that it's like Calvin Phillips. Oh, £100 million player, fucking we've sold him for a toffee crisp and a fucking banana. That's the sort of idiot that we had running the show back then. With the other lads that are in there now. The names of I forget the names. we're a professionally run outfit, of course. We always we're up to date with all the latest and greatest. But yeah, it's I think realistically, I don't see Liverpool or whoever might want to pry him from us coming in with with more than 10 or 15 million. But I do think the club would be frigging stupid to sell him on that, because if we do happen to go up, his value shoots up, and if he does happen to get game time, which I'm pretty certain he will do, if he's still within our team in the Premier League, his value is just going to increase, and he'll be a hell of an asset to keep hold of. And like I say, but we don't know, do we? They could come and slap a 25 million quid in because it's Scousers in it, and they've got money to play with, so Premier League money in it.
Fairs.
So who knows?
So. Other people, leaving the club. So the news has come out now that Scooby's taking the Lincoln job. So Liam B's popped up and said, sad to lose him, wish him all the best moving forward. He did give us a good memory or two, didn't he? So I think we probably all wish him well. He's a bit of a shame because I think he's highly regarded as a coach. But you can't knock somebody, can you, going and trying to make a name for himself as a number one?
No, absolutely not. All the best.
Yeah, fair play to him.
And just around good news, Luke, I think you had a bit of good news to share as well.
Face says otherwise.
I'm assuming it's not yours, but there was a bit.
Oh,
of good
yeah,
news.
sorry, Craig. Yeah, no, but, Jesus Christ!
I didn't mean
It's a good job you didn't. It's a good job you didn't give that to me then.
I was like, what the fuck have I spoken about that I'm not going to speak about? And he's throw me under a bus here. No, Bridie Hannon, captain of Leeds Ladies, who's friend of the podcast, has announced she is having a new Leeds fan join the family. So she's having a baby. So congratulations, Bridie, from everybody.
Congratulations, Bridie.
Congratulations. So I was just looking through some more of the comments actually that I'm run out of the starred ones. So just as I look, is there anything else that you guys would want to call out at this point?
Well, we've got no game to look forward to apart from that shite international stuff.
I don't even know what day they're playing or who they're playing.
Couldn't tell you.
Don't care.
Don't care. Do not care.
No,
Has Calvin been selected? Is Calvin playing? Not that we give a fuck. No. Is Jude Bellingham? Jude Bellingham's not even playing, so it's not even worth tuning in to watch him, is it? Fucking hell.
We've qualified now. Do you know what I mean? I weren't even bothered about the qualifiers before that, so I'm not even. I'm less bothered now until the actual still Germany.
So I have a question for you both. Actually,
go on
then. Joe Rodon and his rumoured £20 million that Spurs have latched onto him. Is it worth spending 20 million quid on him when we go to the Premier League, or are we going to be fishing in a different market?
20 million you go first if you want to go.
Yeah, I think if we go up, it's a no-brainer. He knows the squad, he knows the club, he knows Farke, and he's quite clearly a good footballer and a good footballer. He gets Leeds United. He's just slotted in like he's very much like reminds me very much of what Ben White did for us when under Bielsa, and that's sort of the type of comparison. I don't think he's the same type of player by any means, but the fact that we've brought him in, loaned him from a Premier League club that is well thought at, and I just think he just seems to get everything about Leeds. We get him, and he's slowly becoming a fan favourite. And we love to fall in love with loan players, don't we? And unfortunately, I'm falling in love with him. So I would absolutely snap their hands off for 20 million if we got promoted. I think if we don't get promoted, which is obviously worst case scenario, I think there'll be other suitors for him if he's not given a chance at Spurs. I think there'll be either a promoted club from the Championship this year, or there'll be some sort of mid-table type sides that'll take a punt at 20 million without a doubt.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on. I think I would look to sign him for that amount if we get promoted, and if we don't, I think there's very, very little chance that we could possibly do a deal. I think he's going to be in a position where he can pretty much name his club because I think he'll be running down his contract by that point. So there'll be big money
Don
there.
Revy in the comments has just alluded to that. It says at the end of the season he's only got 1 year left on his contract, so no 15 million tops.
We're talking about 5 million here between. If that's their price they've set, and we don't offer that, there'll be somebody else that'll offer that.
Yeah.
No. This is we're always talking hypothetically. We'll never ever know the truth, and that's why we do this, because we talk about rumors. But
what we don't want is a Ben White situation where they go, "No, you're not having him for that. It's this," and we go, "Fucking hell, no." 20 million I think is more than enough, because we don't actually know how he's going to perform in Premier League. It's a completely different kettle of fish in it. So it might be
Ben White did have a season back at Brighton before Arsenal signed him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they saw he was capable.
January. He might have gone back for half a season and signed in January, actually. But you're right. He went straight there. He went back to Brighton first.
You know what it's like when we get players on loan for another loan.
Hey.
And then they turn out to be absolute dog shit when we sign them properly. Love you, mate.
Here's a question. I've been informed tonight. I've not fact checked
Steve
anything,
Evans.
but
I'll tell you what, that'd be brilliant, wouldn't
it? You reckon it will be Steve? So Jess Young asked who will be manager of Rotherham come next Friday. You don't think it'll be Colin?
Ooh.
No, I think there's more
just
chance
for more
of Steve Evans. Steve Evans has already been there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, yeah.
Has Colin not been at Rotherham before as well?
I don't
Don't believe so.
Is he not? Okay. Maybe,
don't believe so.
Maybe you're right, but
he might end up going back to town when Darren Moore gets sacked, probably.
Darren Moore.
Darren
Moore's shite army.
You shite. Get out of our
You wank.
Okay. So last point I wanted to make.
He has been at Rotherham.
He has been at Rotherham. So they both have. Both been at Leeds. Both been at Rotherham. Held on. One of them will come in and they'll get 3 points.
Yeah, he has been at Rotherham. I'm just looking at the amount of teams that Neil Warnock's managed.
It must be an absolutely mental amount of teams. Like, he's been there since frigging had he been managing since late 70s, early 80s?
Early 80s, and he's managed. He started at Gainsborough Trinity.
Christ.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 19 jobs he's had. Some of them are repetitive.
Wow.
Huddersfield, QPR, repeat themselves.
Cardiff.
Palace.
How many times have you been at Cardiff? Just once?
Yes. Yeah. Sheffield United. Yeah, Huddersfield. He was at Huddersfield 3 times. Oh, no, twice. Nuts. Wow. Bloody nuts.
So there's the Rotherham piece, and then we did touch upon it when we talked about Sam Greenwood's goal, but Leicester City's 2 losses on the bounce. Is that their bubble burst?
I mean, Borough are a hard team to beat at home, aren't they? And they look like they're starting to do a little bit now, to Borough. And to be fair, it were only a matter of time, really, given what they were doing last season. They were there or thereabouts, weren't they, last season?
I think Carrick is, he's a scummer, but he's highly rated as a coach, isn't he?
Yeah, so fair play to him. But get out of his fucking way. Piss off out of his way. We're fucking going. We're off.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I think for me, Leicester, they've got a lot of class, but they have got that African Cup of Nations coming up, and they're going to lose some vital players in January.
There was another point made about Ipswich as well, losing a couple of big players as well, which I didn't realise at the time.
African Cup of Nations?
Yeah, Sam Morse is Egyptian, I think. Played for Egypt, and then one of their other players, I think he's going to the Asian Cup. He's on Aussie, I think. Is that right?
Right. I'm not sure. Somebody in the comments said that Ipswich were losing a couple during the same period.
Let me try and find it. There we go. Michael Brown. Ipswich will lose 2 important players in Jan Feb. Captain Sam Morsey likely to be in the Egypt squad, and Massimo Luongo in the Australia squad for the Asian Cup tournament. Morsey will be a big miss for them. But then you look at Leicester. I mean, we don't have anybody going out there to represent. We got anybody with African descent?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
Certainly, nothing's been named when I've seen any of the stories about the other clubs that are losing players.
David Summer.
But Leicester, I think, could lose 5.
Yeah, wow. And that's gonna bother them. That's gonna upset the apple cart. I think if we start catching them now, I think if we can keep it down to anything between sort of 5 and 10 points and keep it at that up until the Christmas after Christmas, I think there's a good chance that we can start to pull away then.
And it is just after the Christmas break, Christmas and New Year break, and then they go to
almost immediately. Yeah.
And that's thick and fast fixtures, isn't it?
Ooh,
yeah.
Smash fuck out me.
Wassing boy, where's he from?
Not in the top
Moroccan,
of the league.
isn't he? Wassing boy, if he was still here, he'd be going to. Was he Moroccan?
Couldn't tell you.
I might have made that up. But yeah, I think the players they're going to lose, Iheanacho and Didi. One of the
The thing is that they know this though. They're not bloody stupid. They'll have money. They'll have money to spend in January to bolster their fucking numbers, won't they? I mean, come on. It's just whether they're effective or not. That's all.
Would they risk spending money for the sake of a?
If they're still at top of the league at that point and they know they're going to lose a hell of a lot of their quality talent, then they're going to spend money, aren't they? They're going to gamble, aren't they? They've got to.
So what you're saying is they're going to spend it either way, because if they're not top,
pretty much,
they're going to need to spend it to be able
to maintain. I think the loan market's going to go bonkers in January for Championship sides. Absolutely bonkers.
Maybe.
We've already stated that we've left 2 spots free. So look, we're looking to bring 1 or 2 in January loans.
Yeah.
Don't forget January. The transfer market ends at the end of January, so they will have already been away for 4 weeks come the end of the market. So they would only be investing them for maybe potentially up to a couple of weeks, depending on how the players do in the respective cups and things. So, But no, I think we're in a really, really good position, and I think with some fixtures, some tough fixtures coming up, as well as some slightly easier ones. I think we have got some really tough fixtures coming up though. Blackburn away will be difficult. We've got Sunderland as well soon.
I think there's 7,700 tickets available for that Blackburn one, isn't it? It's going to be quite.
It's an 12 kickoff though. It's a shit kickoff time, isn't it?
Loads. Them and Preston, Deepdale, we've always had loads at Deepdale as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
let's have a run through fixtures then. As next 5 games is Rotherham away, Swansea at home, which is a midweeker. We've got Borough at home on the 2nd of December. Then we've got Blackburn away and Sunderland away on the bounce. Then we've got frigging Coventry and Ipswich afterwards and Preston. So this December is going to be a tough month.
It's tough for everybody.
That is a tough month, that is a tough month.
How much money, if you had to make a bet, how much money would you put on Jack Clark scoring against us?
My house.
It's pretty much nailed on, isn't it? He's got
Sorry,
9
it was
already.
the next 5. It was the next 5. Rotherham away, Swansea at home.
Rotherham, Swansea at home, Borough at home, Blackburn away, Sunderland away.
That's it. That's 5. Right. What we're taking from them 5 then?
Oh,
I think that's a win. I think that's a win. I think that's a draw. I think that's a draw. 9
13.
points for me.
13 for me.
Ooh, where we're dropping 2 points.
Draw away at Sunderland.
Yeah, I think Sunderland could be a banana skin, that. I think Blackburn could as well. I think we might. Yeah. I'm going to go draws for them too, to be fair.
So I've gone Rotherham away win, Swansea home win, Borough home I think draw, because I think they're playing quite well. Blackburn away draw and Sunderland away draw.
Yeah, but don't forget, Sam Greenwood's been playing well for them and can't play against us.
Yeah, exactly. I think we'll beat Borough.
I think it'll be a good game. I think
it will be.
Play football, I think that'll play into our hands though. So I think we'll be all right there.
And we're stronger at home.
Smarty's saying that's 2 away draws, and I'm just making a note of that so that when it comes to his predictions, he doesn't start going off.
No! You can't do that.
Go for wins.
You were going to go and fucking smash him.
No, it was Jay that were crying about it because I gave him minus points because he went for a draw and we won.
Yeah, well, can't take it, can he?
He's not happy. He's not happy.
You'd be happy. You'd be happy going unbeaten with them though, with 2 wins and 3 draws, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Really, the way we've been playing, we need to be beat. We should be better rights beating all them teams.
And let's face it, our own form. So the next 3, we should be winning all 3.
Yeah, we should.
We should beat Rotherham away, and then it's Swansea, Middlesbrough at home, and we have been strong at home. So I do think.
Swansea doing?
Mid-league, mid-table, are they? I think.
They are 17th. They've won,
nowhere
one of the
near
last
fucking
5. So yeah,
really
I'm looking to beat them. They are joint on points with Birmingham, who are absolutely arse.
That beat us.
Yeah, but that would be before we had Shrek in, wasn't it?
But I say, there's that, and we had no frigging players because everyone were on fucking strike.
Yeah, yeah, that's true too. Right, okay, I'm out of points of conversation. So, anything else to raise before we jump off? Have you got any AMC news?
Still in brand if it'll be there. Nothing's changed, I don't think. It's all relevant still, I think. Hope.
Here we go. Still there. So, 24th of November, pool and snooker nights, Northern Snooker Centre on Kirkstone Road. Come for a few games of pool in the chat. We'll have a table upstairs. And Saturday the 25th, walk and talk with mental health mates. It's a peer support walking group at Roundy Park. Meeting for 11 a.m. outside the Lakeside Cafe. And just a reminder that all the events are open to everyone, friends, families, partners, etc. It's meant only for the evenings at AMC on the Monday nights.
Aha.
Just another thing. I did see Jess, who's in the chat, just saying that she's got at hospital for some scans. So wish you all the best for those scans and hope it all goes well.
Yes. All the best with your scans.
Yeah. There was something else I wanted to say, and I've completely fucking forgot. It was on the tip of my bloody tongue. It was on the tip of my toe, in Smarty's words.
Do you know what? Here's one. Nestle can get fucked right off because they are cancelling the Karamak. And this is just
and the animal.
Unacceptable.
And the animal bars.
Oh, I've missed that. They're doing that as well.
Animal bars have gone as well.
Cadbury's, though.
Bastards. Absolute bastards.
Oh, no, Cadbury's is wildlife bars, isn't it?
Fucking hell. You can still buy the caramels by Cadbury's though, so it's not all bad. But Karamak
they're not the same.
They're not the same. Karamak is better. Karamak's better.
And do you know what I've never got about a Karamak? Why do they never break properly? Down there?
It's weird, isn't it?
They're like little panes of glass out there. They're always on piss. Like, you think you're gonna snap me, but you can fuck off. Because I don't
think I've ever got one. Unless you get a knife, there's no way of getting it exact every time. I'll just have a piece of Karamak.
Got to score all pieces.
I'm gonna have to have a piece now to even it out.
Maybe that's why they do it. They build faults into it so you don't stop eating it, and then you buy more.
Fucking bastards. Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday for tomorrow, Saldi.
How old is he?
Stick that in, he says.
Stick that in.
Stick it
I reckon.
in.
Shall we all have a guess? Don't tell us your age, Saldi. Let's have a guess.
Saldi.
I reckon
42.
I was going to say one. 42, I've said. Go on, Smarty. Say 43 just so you've got them all above.
I'm going to go 48.
Come on then, Salvi. Let's have a bet.
Come on, Salfi.
Tell us how old you are tomorrow.
This is really not going to be good listening for the audio people later on.
47! Marty Governor!
Fucking sick.
Jamie asks, what has a hazelnut in every bite? And that is squirrel shit.
Fucking hell.
When we're talking about the chocolate bar, though, that was Topic, which is ace, but they're always been far too small, and they're even smaller these days.
Anyway.
I'm doing my own editing, so I'm going to call it there. Unless there's anything else you want to mention, you've got another 30 seconds.
Oh, really quickly. Well done to Carl off the podcast.
Yes.
Sunday night. Carl did a ultra comedy night where he had 6 minutes to do a stand-up show effectively for charity. I think he raised money for the British Heart Foundation, if I remember rightly. I went to watch him. Absolutely class. Really well done, mate, from us all. So well done.
Yeah, well done, mate. Looking forward to seeing the video.
Good shout. Well done, Carl. Yeah, and we'll all be no doubt sharing that and laughing at him, laughing with him. I have no idea because I wasn't there. So
we'll laugh at him every day. So it'd be nice to laugh with him.
That's it. But it takes some stones to get up and do that, especially from what you were saying, the crowd size as well. So, fair play to Carl on that one. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me this evening. And thank you to everybody for getting involved in the comments. And we will be back at some point in the future with some else shit to talk about. Nice one.
Great Scott!